What's up, YouTube? Good day to you guys, and good day to be a CS2 investor. Holy crap, market is exploding today. So, today we're going to have a little bit of a portfolio update slash market overview, and a little bit late to the news today, of course, but the market is exploding as everyone is talking about. Valve released a tweet about the gallery case and the graphic collection and some of the one of the sticker collections being discontinued or taken out of the armory. But yeah, gallery case going to be a discontinued case. People still think that it might go into the active drop pool, but that's just not going to happen. It's going to end up being a discontinued case. So this sets the precedent for everything that goes into the armory for it to one day be discontinued, which is pretty crazy. Well, for some people, pretty crazy. I and a lot of other people knew from the very beginning, the second that these items were released, the second that the armory was even made a thing, that all of these collections and cases would be rotated out and become discontinued one day. These are the replacement, or the armory is the replacement for operations, unfortunately. So this is why a lot of the operation items are going insane recently too. Operation Riptide, Broken Fang, Shattered Web, all of those have more desirability now because of just the state of the armory, how plentiful all these new skins are. People want stuff that's older and rare, so people are turning back to the old operations since we haven't had an operation in years at this point. Anyway, since I released my last video, we have since hit 1,000 subscribers and well surpassed it at this point. I think we're at like 1,070 subscribers. So the growth is insane. Was not expecting this at all when I started this channel, but here we are. Gonna keep pumping out the content. But so I went to go look for something to give away, and I wanted to give away a skin rather than cases, or preferably a skin rather than cases, because just the title giving away cases is, I don't know, a little bit boring almost. So I'd rather give away a skin that someone can actually use in game and play with. But then I wanted it to be an investment quality skin. So I looked at the Glock Axia. This was last night. And then I purchased a Glock Axia on CSGO Float for $100 in factory new. And then when I woke up in the morning, that person had canceled the sale because the graphic collection got announced that it was getting discontinued. So everybody's pumped up the price a little bit of all these Sport and Field collection items, even though the Sport and Field collection isn't actually announced to be discontinued yet. So the Sport and Field collection is going to be in the armory for many more months, but it's being preemptively pumped. So right now the Glock Axie is like $130 in factory new, and same with the Rainbow Spoon. I was looking at Rainbow Spoons yesterday too at $70. Literally last night I was trying to pick up the item for the giveaway, and then yeah, this announcement came out and everybody canceled all their sales and pumped up the price. So rip to that, rip the Glock Axia that I was going to give away. This is mine personally, which happens to be a 000 float. So I'm sitting pretty on this one. Sitting pretty on a lot of things from the Armory collection. 81% fade, and I made this craft with the flammable foils. But yeah, everything from the Armory is spiking in price. Of course, stuff in factory new, specifically, like Starcade. I think the lowest price for factory new on Skinport right now is like $600. Ridiculous. This in factory new, sitting at like $60. Everything's spiking up in price. So either way, I don't know. I'm kind of stumped on what to do for the giveaway. So I was looking at something maybe from the Canals collection that was, good enough. So I was looking at some of the purples. Like I was looking at a red filigree, which I might do. I don't know. I think I might just give away like $100 worth of Gamma 2 cases or something like that. It's a good investment, very stable. I love cases. Everybody loves cases. One of the safest investments that you can make, and if they hold it for a year, whoever wins it, maybe it'll be $150, something like that. But anyways, we're here today mostly to look at our portfolio from the series, and we are doing pretty well, I'd say. 17.12% return on investment. And I think this series is a little bit more than a month old, maybe a month and a half old, month and a week, something like that. 6 episodes in, month and a half. 80% success rate, and we'll look at the ones that aren't successful. But 80, yeah, pretty well. It's also impossible to miss in this market. I'm not like praising myself for being a prophet because I have an 80% success rate because everything in the market is going up right now, or almost everything. But still, these are great numbers. 17.12% especially is insane. The S&P 500 averages around 10%, I think, is the magic number that gets tossed around. But $127 made back from $750 volume. And this is also not including the last video's investment of $150. Okay, first, talking about the Armory and things getting discontinued from the Armory, like the graphic collection, which means that the Sport and Field collection is going to follow suit and spike in price a little bit because people finally have that sense of relief that they know that one day the Sport and Field collection is going to get removed from the Armory. It is a little bit unfortunate that it didn't get removed at the same time as the graphic collection because people might start pumping up this collection even more, investing it into more heavily. So the M4 Fade is already at almost 40,000 supply, which isn't terrible. It's not in a terrible position right at this exact moment, but it just depends how many more months that it's going to remain in the Armory. Because if you compare it to something of similar rarity, or exact same rarity, actually in this case, the Blue Phosphor being a pink is the same rarity as the New Age Reds. See, the New Age collections don't have grays in them, which means that the Reds have a 1 in 752 chance of dropping instead of something like a Dragon Lore that's 1 in 4,000, or I think 1,900 something. I forget the exact number, but it's significantly more common, or less rare, whatever, than a Desert Hydra, than Not Fade, anything like that. So it has the same exact rarity as a pink from those old collections, which means it has the same exact rarity class as the Blue Phosphor. The Blue Phosphor is sitting around 35,000 supply, and is, a $1,100 skin reaching going to be 1,200 and is going to keep going up in value. So I think there is potential for the M4 Fade to be, $1,000 skin. The only thing is the M4 Fade cannot sit in the Armory for another year. If it sits in the Armory for another year, it's going to get stale, and the supply is going to be around 50 to 60,000, and it's just not going to be ideal. So some of these investments are still a little bit risky, even though we know that it's going to get discontinued. Either way, something like the Wildwood, Crimson Foil, the Xeno, these are all things that we invested into in a previous episode. Average buy for the Crimson Foil, $10.50, sitting around $16.72. And I've went and compared prices from this Price Empire to CSGO Float, and these prices are very accurate, actually, surprisingly accurate. A lot more accurate than I thought it would be. I thought this would be more like Steam prices or something, but these are actually very close to cash prices. Actually, the cheapest listing right now for a factory new Wildwood on CSGO Float is 70 cents. So, almost doubling your money overnight. Yeah, 91.67% gains. And these were kind of flatlined before, so all of this is quite literally in the past 2 days. But we bought 70 of these, sitting at 70 cents, so $23 unrealized. I think the Crimson Foils are going to be a really good hold, too. if we go to mine over here, I decided to invest into one that was a really low float. I really enjoy collecting, and as well, I think that these are a good investment, these low float ones. So I think this is exactly rank number 100. So all of these low float skins are now going to get eaten up even more. I wonder, I do have a big collection of triple O float, like Wild Woods and Tiger Stencils, all of those. So I wonder how good those are doing. I'd be interested to see. But yeah, the Xeno, especially $1.73 to 3.15. These are just fantastic gains, especially almost overnight, 2 days. Looking at some of my other favorite investments, cases, glove case on fire was sitting at $13 yesterday, but some of the lowest prices that you can get is like $12.70 on CS:GO float, and the price quickly rises back up to $13. So this $12.60 is a little bit misleading. It is sitting kind of around $13 cash price, and up from $11.45. So I'm really tired of hearing that argument of cases are too expensive. There's nothing that's it's never too expensive. These cases can keep going up and up and up, even these more expensive cases. Um, Another one, Gamma 2. Apparently we bought 50 of these total. At an average buy of $3.47. Not too big of a gain. Only 3.2%. But these are a long-term investment. I think these still have a lot of potential, especially at the Gamma 2 case. Just to take a quick look at some of our losers here, some of the worst cases, some of the worst items in the entire market right now. Since everything is going up, just being negative at all, even if it's negative 0.1%, is crazy. I don't know if we can hear that. There's a bike in the background. So this could either be a very bad foreboding sign, or this could be a massive green light and the perfect time to strike. I don't know. It depends which boat you're in, how you feel about the cheaper rare case market. I personally have never really been a fan. People enjoy cheaper rare cases, and they have had a lot of moments before, a lot of moments of big growth. Especially past couple months, the clutch case was sitting at like 50, 60 cents, 70 cents, and then shot up to like $1.10, and then went back down a little bit to like 80, and then it's now sitting at like $1. But do these cases have potential to be $3 anytime soon, like the Chroma Gamma 2 Spectrums? I don't really think so. These could be a good investment, though, especially while they're the only things that are red on the market, these cheap rare cases. So, especially the clutch and the Prisma, I think that these could be insane. Oh, I didn't even notice this. This is the Chroma 2 case. That's crazy. Chroma 2, yeah, buy that. Buy the Chroma 2. This is a good investment. Looking at this graph for Chroma 2, this is insane. Chroma finishes will always be in demand. I think this is perfect, honestly. In my next investing video, I think we're definitely going to put money into Chroma 2 cases if this price sticks like this. It doesn't randomly spike overnight, because that's what the CS2 market likes to do when I want to invest into something. But I heavily support this case. I think that this is a very good buy. Looking at the unboxing numbers, the Chroma 2 sitting at 261,000. It's one of the more unboxed rare cases out there. Very highly unboxed rare case. So I see a lot of potential in the Chroma 2 and the Gamma 2. So I think maybe I'll do give away $100 worth of Chroma 2 cases. That honestly could be a good investment, good giveaway too. Either way, moving on with our portfolio, looking at the next category, glitters, because that's all that you can really afford to invest into with such a low budget. We did invest into Battlescarred Hollows, which I haven't tracked yet, but those seem to have spiked overnight, really. I think I paid like $13.50 each for those, and then when I looked yesterday, they're at like $17, and now they're about $16, maybe $15.50 today. So a couple of dollars overnight, crazy. Can't ask for better. But overall, these glitters have been doing pretty good. The only one that's not doing the best is the mouse, but it's still not negative from 58 cents to 65 cents. Also, sorry, I was a little bit oblivious to this. Copenhagen Flames as well being a really good one. 28 cents up to 63 cents. Again, the things I invested into, there's only one version of the Renegades glitter. Only one version of the Copenhagen Flames glitter. Only one version of the Koi glitter. One version of the Rocks glitter. The FlyQuest, the Passion UA, the Rare Atom. And the Mouse Shanghai one is the only one that's white. Rare Atom glitter, a little bit disappointed with this one, to be honest. I really, really enjoy the sticker. I think that this sticker is, it's one of my favorites. Average buy at $1.48, sitting at $1.65. More like $1.70, 75. At one point, these were sitting at like $2, $2.10-ish. So, I think that the sticker still has, goddamn. I still think the sticker has good potential. Passion UA 60% from 22 cents to 35. I bought a lot of these on the side too, so I hope these go up. But the best one, or the best two, being the Koi and the Renegades. Surprisingly, the Rocks doing pretty well too. Well, not really that surprising. The thing about the Rocks stickers is that he has a similar level of fame, or at least the sticker does, as someone like Simple or Zaiwu or Rops. It's a very collectible sticker, but he's in only one capsule, unlike something like a Simple that's in 5 or 6 capsules. So I think something like the Rocks glitter does have a lot more potential than something like a Simple. Just because, yeah, Simple's in a whole bunch of different capsules. But the best one being the Renegades glitter, bought at 10 cents, sitting at 63 cents, 65 cents. And when I was looking yesterday, sitting at 70 cents. So, pretty incredible returns. Do I think it's a bubble ready to pop? A lot of the items, yes. But I think there are a lot of items that will keep a lot of their growth. There still will be insane drastic drops. But if you shoot up, 10,000% and then you lose like half or 70% of that value, you're still going to be up massively if you bought in really, really low. So there is an argument to hold some of these, especially some of the ones that are more unique and rare, or the teams are disbanded or discontinued, or just special scenarios, not something like an EG holo that like sucks. I don't know. There is potential in long-term investing in the sticker market. It's not like the entire sticker market is just going to pop and fall back all the way down to zero. That isn't going to happen. There are going to be very significant losses, though, in the future. So, I would not blame you if you wanted to cash out on something like the Renegades glitter that you're already up 7x your money, or almost 100%, 2xing your money. These would be great gains for a couple years, 3 years, but we're making these gains in a couple months, a couple weeks. So I would not blame anybody if they wanted to cash out. Just when you're cashing out, make sure you have a plan for that money. Make sure you need that money. If you're just pulling out because you're scared it's going to drop, invest it into something else that's safe and stable. Maybe you want to invest into something like the S&P 500, or I don't know. Cases are a little bit more safe, or maybe you want to go a completely different route, invest into silver and gold, whatever it may be. Just make sure you have some kind of game plan for the money that you're profiting from this. And make sure you're not trying to time the market and say, oh, maybe I can take these profits and then cash in or buy back in later. That, I don't know. You could run into problems there. Last thing we can look at here is our filler skins, which are supposed to be pretty stable, slow mover. The anodized navy actually doing the worst out of them. Bought at $1.87, $1.93, so pretty much flatlined, stayed the same. Mac 10 silver doing pretty good actually, 30%, not bad at all, from 36 cents to 47 cents on what I consider to be a pretty or very safe investment. So can't complain about 30% gains. Besides that, we didn't really buy any other fillers, not considering the Sport and Field collection fillers, but yeah, 82%, 60, 91. Very good returns on all of these items. Last thing we can look at here is our filler skins, which are supposed to be pretty stable, slow mover. The anodized navy actually doing the worst out of them. Bought at $1.87, $1.93, so pretty much flatlined, stayed the same. Mac 10 silver doing pretty good actually, 30%, not bad at all, from 36 cents to 47 cents on what I consider to be a pretty or very safe investment. So can't complain about 30% gains. Besides that, we didn't really buy any other fillers, not considering the Sport and Field collection fillers, but yeah, 82%, 60, 91. Very good returns on all of these items. On another note, I didn't really, invest into this sticker specifically in our video, only because they weren't available. But the day after that I released that video, a lot more came on the market, and I picked up a couple more of these Ava Dragon Lore Surfs, and I've had these in my inventory for a bit, and these seem to be creeping up a little bit as well. But good news for the Ava Surfs. We're starting to get a little bit of a pump, more sales. A sale for $29, a sale for $36, $25, and listings at 27, 28, and 48 with people watching them. So I think this is good news for the Riptide Surf Shop, I think they're called. Yeah, Surf Shop collection stickers. So I think that these are going to be great long-term investments. So here's the elephant in the room. The gallery case getting discontinued, or going to be discontinued from the armory. Should you be buying at this exact moment? I don't know. I just don't think so. The price is already spiked from 67 cents to $1.20, $1.16. If you believed in this case, you would have bought this a long time ago. Waiting for the exact moment that it gets discontinued, and then starting to buy it up, the day after it gets announced that it's going to get discontinued, is just foolish on so many levels. It's ridiculous. If you believed in this case, you would have bought a long time ago. So you already missed the train. The only thing I can say is wait for this to cool off, because it will cool off a little bit. And maybe you can buy in around 90 cents, 80 cents, something like that. But once it actually gets discontinued, and then the months following that, I think it's only going to keep going up in price. Or it might peak a little bit and then kind of flatline for a long time. But I think it's definitely $1 case and above. So it will always be $1 from now on, in my opinion, or around $1. Me personally, I have around 2,700 of these, almost 3,000, I think. And I bought them for, I think, 50 cents cash price each. So at this point, I'm sitting pretty, but I'm not going to be selling those. Those are a long-term investment, which I think was a great price at 50 cents, because it cost 80 cents to create it in the armory. So people selling them for 50 cents was foolish in the first place. But, happy investing to everybody who was invested into the armory. People who bought stuff from the graphic collection and the Sport and Field collection. I should have invested more. I was going to. I guess that's what everyone says, but, you know, I can actually back it up because I have a lot of these skins, but you know, whatever. I was gonna buy a shit ton of these M4 Paula soups in factory new, but I didn't end up pulling the trigger. Regretting that one a lot, sitting at $60 a piece. But you know, sometimes there are cases in which you should sell, and this might be one of them. I'm really on the fence of whether I want to sell this right now and try to buy back in later. But literally every single time I've ever tried to do that, try to sell something at like a price spike and then buy back in later, it's always just spiked higher. You know, that's my personal experience, but it's happened quite literally every single time I've tried to do it. I bought this at like $140, something like that, and it's, you know, sitting at almost $400 right now in factory new. So I'm very tempted to try to sell this one, but I probably won't at the end of the day. I like to hold stuff for the long term. So just to wrap up this little update video, 17% ROI, 80% success rate, and even the ones that we aren't successful on are objectively good investments. The, you know, Snakebite, Chroma 2 case, Clutch case, Prisma 2 cases, those are all great cases that will be great investments one day. $127.55 made total in profit, which is not including last video's investments. So including last video, we're probably at like $135, $140 in pure profit. Or well, I guess that's before selling fees, but in theoretical profit from our investments that we've made throughout this series. Either way, I'm going to announce the giveaway tomorrow. I'm still going to release a video tomorrow doing my usual investment series video. I'll announce tomorrow what the actual giveaway is and how to enter and all of that. Thank you everyone for all the support. Again, trying to keep consistent. I know I said in my last video that I was going to release this video on like Tuesday or something, but I've had a crazy amount of work. I worked like 11 hours today, so kind of fried, but you know, we're still here, still trying to get this money out here with these CS2 skins. So thank you everybody, appreciate all the support. I'll see y'all tomorrow in my next video. Peace.